Hey guys, on Saturday nights when you try to watch Super, sometimes the Crunchyroll site will have some IT issues and will load slowly, or sometimes it'll crash. If this is happening to you, try Verve. It has not crashed on me since starting, and you can actually link your Crunchyroll account to your Verve account and carry over your premium features from Crunchyroll. Plus, you can sign up for a combo pack that includes Funimation, more dubbed anime, and tons of other features. I will leave links to a free trial down below. So last week on my Dragon Ball Super review, I received a lot of constructive criticism from you guys, and I want to thank you guys for giving me all your advice on how to better my Super reviews. So I'm going to be slightly changing and trying some new things out with my Super reviews. I never really wanted my reviews to be recaps. They're supposed to be just me talking about what I liked and didn't like, but it winds up turning into a recap because, you know, I'm just going down what my notes say in the episode and whatnot. And I'm definitely open to your feedback about whether or not you like, you know, the way I review things, and I'm willing to improve and whatnot. So for this week's episode, I want to focus mostly on what I liked and did not like versus just recapping the episode. And if I end up recapping it anyways, well, it's going to be the case. Now, if I do miss something, if there's a detail that I miss in the episode that you feel needs to be covered, I will do a separate video covering this detail, whatever that may be. So I really don't mind dedicating a separate video topic to a specific part of the episode that you think needs to be looked at. That is certainly no problem at all. So let's move forward with Dragon Ball Super episode 94. Last week, Goku went to go visit Frieza, and he wants him on Team Universe 7. This week, we're going to talk about the revival of Frieza. In fact, the episode title is that very same thing. Aku no Teiyo Fukatsu, Demukaero Nazo no Shikakutachi, which translates to Revival of the Evil Emperor, the mysterious awaiting assassins. And it's funny because during the Resurrection F promotional, I remember that they said that. They said, Aku no Teiyo Fukatsu, you know, the evil emperor's been revived. So I find it interesting that they would call it, you know, the resurrection of Frieza again, even though technically this time he's not being resurrected like with the Dragon Balls. It's just going to be for a day or so. It is still a very interesting correlation. Now, this episode was actually not what I was expecting. I was expecting a very Frieza-heavy episode, but actually there's no Frieza in this episode for literally the first half, if not a little bit more. We don't even see Frieza at all, besides the recap of last week, until near the very end of this episode. The vast majority of the episode was kind of more preparations for the tournament, more discussions about, you know, Team Universe 7 and whatnot. And the episode had two subplots featuring Goten and Trunks going to 17's island to take care of it for him, which was already established before, and of course 17 coming back and meeting Team Universe 7, including a very awesome scene where he and Piccolo go face to face and they shake hands like the Mega Powers. That was a great scene. The handshake was amazing in this episode, and if you remember in Dragon Ball Z, Piccolo and 17 had one of the most brutal fights in the series. In fact, earlier today I did a video called The Best Piccolo Fights in Dragon Ball. Check out that video because I cover all the awesome fights in Piccolo and give my opinion, and I definitely want to hear yours. And the other subplot in the episode was the idea of Kitella and Sidra. Kitella, of course, being the Universe 4 God of Destruction, the big mouse, and Sidra from Universe 9, and their, I guess, coalition or whatever you want to call it, their conspiracy, I guess you could say, to eliminate Frieza before the tournament even begins. You know, this was established last week when Kitella talks about how, you know, he found out from his spies that Beerus is using dead warriors, and they talk about, of course, Frieza. And I was wondering, you know, after rewatching that episode, how the spies were able to get information to Kitella. Well, there's this scene in the episode where they do this weird, like, telepathic link between the two universes. So Kitella does not go to Universe 9 like I previously thought. They're communicating telepathically. And it wasn't even like a thing where, like, Whis uses his staff to talk to, you know, the other people and all that. No. It was literally like a telepathic link, right, where Sidra and Kitella are speaking, and I wonder if that means he can speak to them, to his spies telepathically, because that would make sense, right? That's why he got the information so fast. Or I wonder if that's just a link between, like, both universes, or both universes' gods of destruction, or if it's an ability that Kitella and Sidra and some of these guys can do. But it was very creepy. They had very creepy music for that scene. Really enjoyed that. It was very it's almost like they're trying to tell us that Seadra and Katala are going to be villains, or at least, they have sinister motives of cheating. But then again, it's one of those things where, is it fair that Beerus is using dead fighters? So again, it's very interesting how we have that going on, and they even established in the previous episode about how Katala and what he's doing, trying to sabotage this tournament, if the Omni King finds out about it, there may be hell to pay. There was another little interesting scene here with Master Roshi training with Yajirobe up on Karin Tower. That was very interesting as well because, we got to see Roshi kind of training, and he actually used that electric, and I forget the name, my bad on this one. He used the electric shock technique he used on Uzaru Goku in the 21st Budokai on Yajirobe, so it was cool seeing that too. So the thing about this episode is, honestly, even though there were a lot of cool moments here and there, this episode was somewhat of a waste of time, not really what I was expecting, and it really wasn't that great of an episode. This episode was pretty much a big setup for next week's episode, which is going to be Dragon Ball Super episode 95. But back to Katala, they're really portraying this character, Katala, the god of destruction of Universe 4, as being this sinister rat. And he is a rat, so what do you expect? Because it looks like he, in the episode, he obviously coerces Universe 9 to get assassins, and then of course the god of destruction Seadra speaks to Ro, who is the Kaioshin of Universe 9, and then he's the one who kind of, I suppose, hires the assassins or whatever. And it seems like if the leaks from a week ago are true, and I did a video yesterday giving you guys a full update on what happened, everything that went on, because it's been literally real, fake, real, fake, real, fake. It's like we've been changing our minds, and I don't mean just me, I mean a lot of us have been changing our mind about what's going on here with these episodes. If there's truth to the fact that Frieza may defect, which is the rumor. Again, the leak said that, but there's no evidence anywhere else of that. If they're wrong, whatever. If they're right, it looks like this guy, Katala, may end up being a real manipulative dude, because if he's going to get, based on the next episode preview, and I'll talk about more about that tomorrow, looks like he's trying to kind of use Universe 9 to attack Frieza so Frieza can turn against Universe 9 and then turn against Goku, because Universe 7, all the universes hate Goku, and maybe coerce him into coming to Universe 4. I really don't know, but it seems like this character, the point I'm trying to make is this character's being promoted as being this cheating rat, which, the dude wants to kill another guy from another team before the game even starts. That's some Nancy Kerrigan shit. Those of you who were around the 90s, the Nancy Kerrigan story. Oh, also, another fun tidbit I almost forgot to mention here is early in the episode, they show a sticker of Frieza's face, with all the other fighters or whatever, and they spelled it Freeza. And I find that very funny because that is the, I don't want to say correct, but it is the most correct romanization of the name Frieza. But I'm going to wonder when this episode airs on Toonami if people are going to think that it's misspelled, because Freeza is the English dub way of spelling his name. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I spell it Freeza in my videos for search optimization, so that people who are searching for Frieza will find my channel. It's just, that's how you do YouTube, right? But on Twitter, I spell it Freeza, and that's really my default spelling. And it's interesting to see if people are going to melt down over this. I certainly hope not. Also, one other note I want to let you guys know about is that as far as the intro to Super goes, some people have been wondering if there's going to be a new intro. No, not yet. I'm not saying there won't be, but right now, Majin Buu is still in the intro to Super, the intro music, the Limit Break X Survivor. So if they're going to change it, it hasn't changed as of this week. Also, I want to clarify something else that I've been seeing. People are talking about how in the episode 17 said he was 17 years old. That was just a joke. He was joking. Logically, 17 cannot be 17 if you go by the Dragon Ball ages. It can't be. It's impossible. So yeah, back to that rat guy. No, he's really sneaky because he even tells Seadra during their conversation stuff like, oh, well, we just can't be associated. If you can hire these assassins to take out Frieza, and because Seadra was worried about, the Omni King's vengeance on this, but the rat was like, well, just make sure they keep their mouth shut. He pretty much says that. There was also a really cool scene where Trunks was inquiring about the picture of Frieza. There's a picture of Frieza, like I said, with the double E's, and Goku is like, do Goten and Trunks know about the tournament? And apparently no. Like, Bulma and Vegeta confirmed that Goten and Trunks have no idea about this tournament. So Bulma lies to Trunks and says, oh, these are people that are going to be celebrating the birth of, Bra or Bola, which I thought was pretty funny. But then Trunks was like, wait a minute, isn't that one, like, super bad guy who died? And Vegeta tells Trunks, oh no, he's turned over a new leaf. He's a really good guy. I thought that was funny because you could tell that when he tells Trunks this, he's in pain. He's in literal pain, and then he's like, why do I have to defend Frieza? Like, I totally love that scene. Now, I told you about what I didn't like and what I did like. I want to get to the end of this episode. Let's talk about the finale. The end of this episode, the finale of this episode, I absolutely freaking loved. So, okay, Goku goes to Baba's little, her little palace or whatever, that's surrounded by water, and he meets the Ghost Guards there. And it's funny because I was looking at the Ghost Guards and I was thinking, you know what? These guys are more useful in Dokkan Battle than they are in Dragon Ball. So, obviously, the portal or the location on Earth that links to the other world is in Baba's palace. That's where, of course, Grandpa Gohan was in Dragon Ball, and presumably Vegeta and Goku used that same place to kind of link between the two worlds. So we actually see for the first time ever, including from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, we see Frieza appear. He materializes. He literally materializes out of thin air there with Baba. He is out of hell. He's there in his final form with a halo. They have this really funny little sequence where Frieza says that his hand slipped and he hits Goku and Goku hits him back. So it's like they're building up this sort of buddy cop wacky stuff. I don't really know, but it seems like they're building this up. And so Goku's like, okay, listen. I'm going to instantaneously move. I'm going to teleport, whatever. Instant transmission is the dub name. And he's like, oh, grab onto me. And then Frieza gives him this look like, huh? So suddenly one of the Ghost Guards comes in and he's like, hey, there's these guys outside that want to talk to you guys. And these are indeed the assassins from Universe 9. First of all, these guys looked really cool. And naturally, these guys are not going to be on the level of like Hit, but they looked cool. They looked like ninjas. They were wearing these cloaks, real scary looking. And Goku's like, well, who are you guys? And then the leader of the guys, this big like pig bear looking thing, was like, I can't tell you who I am. And Goku's like, are you trying to keep us away from the tournament? Like, are you trying to keep us out of it? And then the big guy says, I can't tell you. Who sent you? I can't tell you. This was awesome. Then, boom, Frieza fires a freaking death blast right through the dude's shoulder. This was awesome. Like, I'm sitting there, dude, and I am literally marking out because Frieza ain't having it. And then he's like, oops, sorry about that. That was freaking amazing. He's like, oh, my hand slipped again or whatever. And I guess Frieza's whole thing is, I haven't killed anybody in a while, so let's kill some people. That's what I guess his whole MO is here. So they mention that, Beerus and Whis mentions that if they don't make it on time to the arena, that they might be disqualified and the Omni King might wipe them out. So the whole thing now is becoming a problem because these assassin dudes being there might, even if they don't kill Goku and Frieza, even if that's not the motivation here, if they don't make it on time, dude, Universe 7 might be screwed. So even Goku, for the first time ever, is like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I'm not going to fight these guys. And then Goku's like, come on, we have to go. And then Frieza's like, you know what? It'll be fine as long as we don't take too much time. My body's gone soft, so let me have a little warm-up and loosen it up. So we see this. This is one of the guys. This was one of the best transformations we've seen in Dragon Ball Super. He's like, oh, it's a little warm-up. Don't worry about it. And then we see Frieza literally just ignite his whole body on fire. There's golden aura everywhere. I'm not sure who animated this. I have no idea who it was. I'm sure Anime AJ will cover it on his channel. Check out Anime AJ. But we literally see him transform into Golden Frieza. The music, the light, the details. This was so freaking amazing. Like, I'm just sitting there and he has this, like, angelic pose, dude. Like, this was so awesome, man. This was a real badass transformation. And the way they directed it was they were intercutting between the transformation and the arena being built. Like, they keep cutting back and forth. I thought that was a really clever, like, move they did. The last few minutes of this episode were awesome. And basically the cliffhanger is Frieza's gone golden. We don't have much time left. And he's about to fight these assassins from Universe 9, who are probably going to end up being fodder, but hey, it's still going to be fun next week seeing Frieza tear through these dudes with ruthless aggression. So pretty much my thoughts on the episode was the first half, I didn't really care too much for it. Just basic build-up and things like that. The second half of the episode was fantastic, I thought, especially the Frieza stuff. Really, next week is where it's at. Not the best episode, not the worst. I would say it was fine. They probably could have crammed in a little bit more. I thought the Roshi stuff wasn't really necessary for this episode, in my opinion. But what did you think down below? Tell me what you thought about the episode. Tell me if you have any talking points specifically you want me to get to. I would be more than happy to do a video on it or follow up. And don't forget, guys, if you are having trouble with Crunchyroll, Verve is a good place to go. Verve was pretty much created by the creators of Crunchyroll to showcase different kinds of content that's not just anime. There's anime on Verve. There's tons of it, both subbed and dubbed. Don't forget that, because Funimation's part of Verve, but there's also other things on there as well, like Rooster Teeth, I mentioned it, all their content, Geek and Sundry. So if you like geeky stuff, like if you are a proud geek like I am here on Geekdom 101, check out Verve. Thank you so much for checking out my review. Talk to you guys later.